Yo, so what's good? It's your man Jay, and I'm back with another episode of Evolutionary Comics. Welcome to the channel. Alright, first off, let me start by saying that being a YouTuber and maintaining that consistency is something that you have to be very, very disciplined to do. To try to put out your videos at a scheduled time and record them at a scheduled time, edit them, whatever it is that you may need to do. I give shout outs to all those other YouTubers who are really smashing it, who are killing it. Come from the school of Peter McKinnon. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's also a photographer and a videographer, and he sets the bar extremely high as far as creating YouTube content. There's a lot of other people out there, a lot of comic book YouTubers that are really smashing it. And to try to keep things more interesting, very creative, and content driven and consistent, sometimes it's a battle. It is a battle that I'm taking on that challenge, and I take it upon myself to want to complete things. So early in life, I didn't complete things. I would start things and I didn't finish them through. And this is definitely something that I have an extreme passion about. I love comic books. I love the comic book culture. I'm a blurred to my heart, to the core. And this is something that I'm going to see through. And I'm going to see through with your help, because right now I just checked, I have like 31 subscribers. And that's not a lot, but for me it's an accomplishment, because I think the last time I checked I had like 12. So I'm slowly gaining a little bit of steam here with this channel, and with your help, with your comments, kind of giving me a little direction on what you guys find interesting, what you think I should leave out, whatever the case may be. Your words are going to be encouragement and constructive criticism. So hit me up in the comments, let me know how you feel. This is going to be another What's in My Bag episode. These are the ones that are more consistent, because every week, every Wednesday, hey, I'm at Emerald City Comics in Clearwater, Florida, picking up my pull list, and I want to show you guys what's in my bag. Alright, so first up, the first issue I'm going to show is from DC Comics. Before I start, this is my pickup of the week. I know a lot of people go till the end of the video to show you what their pickup of the week is, but this is the Recount issue number 4 by John Hedrick, and this cover is by Brian Silverbash, and this cover is extremely dope. As you see, it is the Set It Off movie cover. I love this cover. The comic is a great book. It's a great read. The artwork is great on the inside, but this cover right here just took it over for me. I had to have it. I went to some extra lengths. I contacted John Hedrick to find out how could I acquire this cover. He put me in contact with Brian Silverback, and we made it happen. So this is actually a autograph cover, and he put the little doodle down there. I forget what they call it, like a little signature doodle or something like that. But anyway, I have a couple of copies of this particular book. I love it, and I wanted to start off by showing you guys that. Alright, so back to the comics, the pull list. So this week I picked up DC Comics Man-Bat vs. Batman number 4. And this book is actually by David Wilgosa. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I gotta slaughter somebody's name each week. That's my thing. The artwork is done by Sumit Kumar. And again, Langston is in trouble. He's already gotten beat up by the Bat and barely escaped, and now he has to deal with Scarecrow. He's going through therapy with Harley Quinn of all people, but he's in trouble, and he's trying to find a cure for himself, something where he can maintain his Man-Bat persona and his human form at the same time. This has been a good read. It's very interesting, because I keep wondering where they're going to go, because if you think about it, the comic books often dictate what's going to happen in the real movies or whatever, in the DC universe as far as the movies go. So I'm wondering if they're going to show Man-Bat at some point, but if they don't, this is still a good pickup. Alright, so next up I have The Next Batman, Second Son, issue 2 by DC Comics. And this story is all over the place. Luke and Jace, and they're still battling. The family is still, kind of in disarray. But at the same time, the Gotham City, they're still out to get all the masks. So in this particular universe, or this particular comic, the police is against the mask, anybody wearing a mask, so they're often treated just like the criminals. So they're trying to figure out how their sister got sick and who poisoned her. Always leads back to the Scarecrow, but the big event with Arkham Asylum getting blown up and that whole thing that you can read about in the regular Batman comics. But there, he's fighting, he's trying to figure out, where did this come from, and how can they possibly gain the serum to cure their sister. So this is a good pickup. I also picked up the cardstock variant cover as well. I love this cover. It's a dope ass cover. That blue, and I don't know, it's not too much I can say other than it's dope as hell. Alright, so next up I got Batman 108, and this is a good pickup because this is the first appearance of Miracle Molly. And when I first saw it, I was like, another Punchline, kind of character coming into play. But from what I've read so far, Miracle Molly has more substance. They're doing a better job telling her story as opposed to how they did with Punchline, where they kind of just dropped her out there. So I do see more longevity with Miracle Molly. But, these covers are pretty dope, and, that's Batman 108 by DC Comics. And this is the variant cover. And I just read that the variant, I think it's the variant foil cover for this. I think the variant foil cover for this one, the 9.8, is up pretty high, like about $250 or $300 for 9.8. I'm not sure how they got to that conclusion so quickly. I never understood how people grade a comic book, have a comic book graded, a week later after it came out. But that's something that's beyond my knowledge. Maybe, one of the fellas in Blurred Core can explain it to me. Shout out Blurred Core, of course, always. That's my Facebook comic book group. It's headed up by Darren Flood, Antonio Brown, and my homie Kenya Mays. Me and Kenya talk. Kenya is one of my inside guys because he always knows where to pick up the variant covers, the dope covers. So shout out to my man Kenya. Hope all is well. And yeah. Alright, so next up we have Suicide Squad number 3. And this one I solely picked it up because of this particular character here. Her name is Bolt. She's a new character. I'm not sure if this is her first appearance or not. I have to do a little research. I think she may be connected with the Teen Titans. She may have made an appearance in there, but in this particular issue, Amanda Wallace wants her on the team, and she's very Amanda Wallace type. She wants her on the squad, and if she doesn't join the squad, then she's gonna die. So you know how Amanda Waller does. If you don't do what she wants, she's gonna explode your brain. That's how the whole Suicide Squad works. But yeah, it looked pretty interesting, and one of the panels that I read, which really made me enjoy this book, because comics are not what they used to be for, when I was a kid, or even for young kids. So parents out there, I do want you to, introduce your kids to comic books, but you gotta proofread it before you pass it on to them, because it's some crazy stuff. So Superboy, he's no joke, and this is a Peacemaker. He's gonna be in the new movie coming up as well. They have a little conflict where Peacemaker asks Superboy, "Hey, Boy Scout, is there a problem?" And Superboy is not like your TV Superman Clark Kent. That's his son, but his response is, "Fuck around and find out." That right there, I'm like, just that kind of dialogue in a comic book, that's, as an adult, that's what we kind of enjoy. So this is a great pickup. I want to see what happens to Bolt. I'm not going to give away any spoilers or anything, but I will say that I heard some rumors, but the rumors weren't true. So it's going to be a dope book. I'm going to keep up with this and follow her along and see what happens with that character. Not only is she a beautiful character, with the, I guess with that golden blonde hair or whatever, but it's a new character, sister. So you know how I am about the sisters. All right, so next up we have Green Lantern #2 by DC Comics, and you have Green Lantern Joe Mullen on the cover. And I haven't read the first one, so I'm not going to be able to give you a synopsis on the second one. I just know that I think Jon Stewart is in it, and Joe Mullen. So, that's going to be a good read anyway. I enjoyed, Far Sector, her main book. I have all of those, so this is going to be a good pickup. And like I said, I can't tell you much about it other than it's her. So, all right, I picked this one up. This one, I think it came out like maybe last week or something. But this is Robin #1 by DC Comics. And, I just heard some rumors about it that it would be a good pickup. Have no clue about it. But this is, of course, the younger Robin when he was a little kid or whatever. So, that was a good pickup that I made as well. Alright, so next up is Heroes Reborn #1. I love this book out the gate. I decided to read it. I had already, read, like the previews about it. But it's written by Jason Aaron, and let's see who does the artwork. Okay, so it's written by Jason Aaron, and Ed McGuinness is one of the artists on it. He's a variant artist, and Matt Wilson, along with Mark Morales, a couple other people that have contributed to the book. But the storyline, it starts off great. I love it because it's what's a world without the Avengers. It's basically what happens if Tony Stark never built Iron Man. Thor was a hard-drinking atheist. Wakanda is still a myth. Nobody knows about it. And Captain America was never found. So he's still lost in a block of ice somewhere out in the Antarctic or whatever. So that's what makes this book a dope book already. But then Blade appears as the main character in this first issue, and he's the only one that knows about the real world where the Avengers did exist. So he's trying to wake up each particular person, and he's going through some drama as far as like dealing with everything. But this is a great read. Pick it up. I think there's going to be like a curve. I don't know if it's going to be similar to like DC Future State, but this one is a good read. I think you guys would enjoy it. Alright, next up we got Strange Academy #10. I got to catch up on these. The storyline got kind of flat where, it wasn't a lot going on. A lot of people have been talking about it, but it is a huge spec book as far as the particular series because, in the future they do see that this is going to be a TV show. You got a lot of young heroes, a lot of young superpowered humans and everything, or superpowered people, because not all of them are human. But I'm staying along with the story. They've had some dope covers, and I'm going to eventually catch up to it when I have some time. But yeah, so this is Strange Academy #10. Nothing, fancy about this particular cover. It's a nice cover as normal, but, it's a good read. Alright, so next, fans of The Mandalorian. I'm telling you ahead of time that I do see with Disney Channel, with their development and the success of The Mandalorian, I do see this next comic book being somewhat valuable somewhere down the line. This is War of the Bounty Hunters, the director's cut. And on the cover, I'm not sure which Fett that is, not Boba Fett, Jango Fett, or whoever, but he looks dope as hell. I saw this particular book, and there's a spec book, I think it's Darth Vader #1, where there's like another Chewbacca type character that it was his first appearance. So that's what kind of alerted me to it. So I got to go back and I got to find a Darth Vader #1, because that's going to be a spec book that has something to do with this particular book and this particular series, and possibly in the future something on Disney Channel, so you'll be able to see it on the screen as well. But this was a great pickup for me. I haven't read it yet. I flipped through it. The artwork is great. It looks really, really good. I've never been like a big Star Wars fan, but maybe this is going to be my introductory into that side of it as well. So, pick it up. Alright, next up we have the final conclusion of Fear Case. This is written by Matt Kent and Tyler and Hillary Jenkins, tag teaming on the art. And they've been passing this case around. They're trying to figure out what's going on with it, where did it come from. This is like a 1,000-year-old case where if somebody gives it to you, you have to get rid of it within a certain amount of time, or the person that you love, something's bad going to happen to them. So they've been chasing this case around back and forth, trying to acquire it, and this is going to be the conclusion. So I'm anxious to read it to see exactly what happens to him if one of the agents gets X'd out, or whatever you want to call it, DX. But it's been a good read so far. I've enjoyed the book, and it's kind of like I think there was a show called The Box or something like that that is similar to it. So I don't think a show is going to come about from it, but you never know. But it's been a good read either way. All right. So next up, finally, the long anticipated and awaited debut of Eve from Boom Studios, and this book is by Victor LaValle. He also wrote The Destroyer, another Boom Studios comic, and like I say, it's something that's been awaited upon, and I've been waiting for it to come out. I've heard a lot of good things as far as the reviews, that this is going to be a great book, and the covers are dope. They're already setting some records as far as first run. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with the book, but I do know that some of the covers are already shooting up in value. It's hard to find some of them on eBay for a decent price. I've even saw that a couple of them that are already going for $300 for the very next day after the book came out. But all right, so this is a quick synopsis on the book, and like I said, I'm super excited about it. I do see the possibilities of this particular book becoming picked up for an option for a movie or a TV show or something. Preferably the movie. A movie would be dope as hell, but then again, as far as a TV show, it would be dope, like a kind of like on the lines of a Walking Dead. Either way, to see it on the screen is going to be great, so it can reach out to the masses for those that don't read comic books yet. But like I said, a quick synopsis: this is Eve, and this is her little bear Wexler. He's an android bear that is was left, and it was built and left by her father to kind of guide her. It's a post-apocalyptic book where the polar caps have melted, and the world is covered with water. So she has to navigate through a city and get to land, so she can get to a certain point where she can plant these mangrove hybrids that her father left. So her father's voice is in her head. She has Wexler to kind of guide her. It starts off really good. It pulls you in. It endears you to her as a character, and it's a dope book already. So I'm excited to see where this book goes. If you haven't picked it up yet, run out, try to grab it. If you're a collector, try to get every cover you can. I have the variant cover. It was supposed to be one per store. I think this is the 1 in 25. Then I have a regular cover, and I believe that this is the cover B, and this is the 1 in 10. These two particular covers are done by Mirka Andolfa. So shout out to her. She's one of my favorite artists, favorite writers in comics right now. But I had to get a couple of her books as well as far as her covers go. And this is the big one. This is the one. It's also supposed to be one per store, but this is a 1 in 50. And this one was a little bit pricey as far as right out the gate. So I know the value of it is going to go up. This is the one that I saw, like I said, I saw on eBay. For like $2.99. Somebody was asking $2.99 for it out the gate, and that was the very next day after it came out. And there hasn't been the chance yet to actually get them graded. So in one of my upcoming videos, I'm gonna talk about the process of getting things slabbed, getting things graded. That's where I used to always call it comic book coffins, where you're putting your book in a plastic, case. Can't read it anymore, but it does hold the value as far as the comic book itself. It actually escalates the value and makes it more expensive or more valuable to you whenever you get ready to sell it. So I'm gonna drop that video soon as well, so you'll be able to get my take on getting things slabbed. I'm gonna have a 2-part series to that, because I have to select the exact books that I want to start off getting slabbed. Because as you see right now, I've never shown you guys anything that's slabbed. I don't have anything. I have no slabbed comic books, no encased, no graded comic books. That's the actual name for it, is to have a graded comic. I don't have any in my collection right now, but I do have some that must be graded. They must be put in that slab just to protect the book. So even down the line, if somebody, wants to read it, one of my ancestors 2 or 3 generations from now wants to check it out, it'll hold that value until they get their hands on it. So this is my pickups for the week. Like I showed you, the Recount number 4 is my number 1 cover that I picked up. And this closely, if that's A, then if that's 1A, this is 1B. I love these particular covers of the Eve comic by Boom Studios. Like I said, if you haven't picked it up and you're into collecting, this is definitely one to get. I'm telling you ahead of time. I'm not the spec god like Darren is, but it is something that that I'm telling you ahead of time. You're gonna regret it if you don't. So shout out to my man Kenya. Shout out to Blurred Core, all the fellas, and I thank everybody for joining me on this next episode of Evolutionary Comics. I got some more videos off to the side, so hope you check them out. Like, comment. Give me some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing with this this whole YouTube thing. I'm still fairly new to it. I'm still trying to navigate my way and build my consistency. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and the more the more videos I put out, the quicker you'll be alerted to it. And if you have any questions, hit me in the comments. Like I said, because number one, above all, I do this for the people. Power to the people. This is your man Jay, Evolutionary Comics, and I'm out. So, all right, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me once again on Evolutionary Comics. Hopefully, if you like it, you'll hit the like button. You like it so much, you may hit the subscribe button and definitely hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming out with a new episode. Hopefully, you'll go out and you'll buy something at your local comic book store, something dope. Once again, we do this for the people. All right, love y'all.